Her caption here says, getting tired of these lies, done clearing blank up after this. It looks like somebody said smoking and drinking in January, question mark. You was pregnant in November, you said, right? Okay, yeah, Neveah did say she was pregnant in November. She also said on stream she was pregnant in December. So Neveah responded back, blank, I had a whole period in November 17th to 2024. Don't it take time for the egg to fertilize and for a test to come back positive? Are you blanking dumb? I never drunk anything at the function that everyone was at. I'm not a drinker, blank. And like I said to you guys, Neveah is very sensitive right now. She's pregnant, okay? I warned y'all, she's very sensitive. Okay, she also said here, the sick fans of his want me to look like someone else that I'm not and be like someone else that I'm not. So this is where she's comparing Chrisean to herself. We're saying she doesn't want to be compared to Chrisean. She's not naming any names, but we know who she's talking about. Let's continue. Or do the things that someone else did that I don't do. Try harder. I spend my days with this man 24/7, even without being on camera. He could pick up my phone and go through it if he wanted to. He could do it while I'm asleep if he wanted to. He could answer my phone if he wanted to. I share everything with him. I don't hide my hands. He knows my move before I even make it. We're spiritually connected. This is a response from people saying that maybe the baby is not Blueface's, maybe she was pregnant before.
The internet did not wake up gently today. It was dragged out of bed, slapped across the face, and thrown straight into a tornado the moment Chrisean, Neveah, and Ronnie Doe's families all decided to clap back at once. Social media went into panic mode like someone unplugged the Wi-Fi of an entire city. Voices, accusations, tears, and shade were flying across every platform like Zeus Network reunion chairs. People weren't just shocked, they were frozen, screens shaking in their hands, wondering how 3 families created more chaos in 5 minutes than some celebrities create in 5 years. And of course, the drama gremlins of the internet devoured every second. What truly detonated timelines was not that they responded, but how they responded. Each family came out swinging with their own tone. One emotional, one defensive, one straight up ready for war. It felt like watching 3 different reality TV finales smashing together in a single episode nobody scheduled. Fans were gasping, clutching their wigs, and sending voice notes in group chats like they were reporting breaking news. The contradictions, the tension, the messy undertones, it was reality show perfection wrapped in real-world disaster. The internet couldn't keep up. But the wildest part, the responses didn't match. Not even close. One family called for peace, another spilled tea so hot it scorched the comment section, and the third dropped a message so cryptic fans began decoding it like ancient hieroglyphics. Suddenly, everyone believed there was a bigger story hiding underneath all the noise, a story stitched together by secrets, hurt feelings, and the kind of unresolved tension that keeps the world awake at 3 a.m. The chaos didn't begin with the statements, it began long before, simmering quietly under the surface while fans ignored the rising pressure like a pot ready to explode. For weeks, people sensed tension building between the families of Chrisean, Neveah, and Ronnie Doe. Subtle shade posts, cryptic TikToks, half-sent tweets, and deleted Instagram captions were stacking up like warning signs in a disaster movie. Everyone knew something messy was brewing, but nobody expected all 3 families to clap back at the same time and flip the entire internet into a swirling storm of shock, suspicion, and scandal. It felt like Netflix episode 1 energy hitting maximum volume with 0 time to breathe. The origin of the drama traced back to a leaked audio clip that surfaced without warning, a voice, allegedly from someone close to the situation, hinting at miscommunication, betrayal, and a story the public has completely wrong. The clip spread at lightning speed, sparking comment section wars and fan investigations more intense than true crime documentaries. Suddenly, every fan base turned into detectives, rewinding, slowing the audio, analyzing background noises like they were solving a federal case. Some swore they heard Neveah's name. Others insisted it was Chrisean's family. A few conspiracists even claimed Ronnie was the source. Nobody agreed, but everyone was loudly certain. Then came the accidental leak, a screenshot posted by a cousin of somebody, friend of somebody's sister, showing a private family group chat reacting to the situation. The messages ranged from confusion to frustration to full-on enough is enough energy. It exposed that behind-the-scenes conversations were happening long before the public knew anything. Fans lost their minds instantly. TikTok exploded with lip-sync reenactments, dramatic edits, and emotional breakdowns narrated like soap operas. The internet became obsessed with understanding the timeline, motives, alliances, and hidden layers that were bubbling beneath the polished public posts. What pushed the narrative into chaos was when different fan pages started dropping exclusive insider details, none of which matched. One page claimed Chrisean's family felt disrespected by a rumor involving Neveah. Another said Neveah's people were tired of being dragged into situations they never signed up for. Then a third page insisted Ronnie Doe's side had been quiet only because they were preparing a major response. The contradictions were wild, but in true internet fashion, fans believed all of them at the same time. It felt like trying to solve a puzzle where the pieces belonged to three separate puzzles and someone kept adding new pieces every hour. The messy build-up reached new heights when a live stream surfaced featuring someone close to the situation, talking in circles for 20 minutes and confirming absolutely nothing. But fans clipped every sentence, dissected every pause, and treated each vague statement like gospel. People argued for hours over interpretations, creating theories so wild they became trending topics. Meanwhile, none of the families had spoken publicly yet, which only added fuel to the speculation bonfire. Silence is louder than words on social media, and this silence was deafening. Finally, the first statement dropped and it shook everything. Chrisean's family came forward with emotion, clarity, and a tone that made it clear they were tired of the narrative spinning out of control. Their message pointed to misunderstandings, boundaries crossed, and a desire to protect their own. Fans reposted it endlessly, some praising their honesty, others calling it selective transparency, and a few accusing them of stirring drama without naming names. The internet couldn't decide whether it was a peace offering or a warning shot wrapped in politeness. And naturally, everyone being confused only made them more dramatic. Barely an hour later, Neveah's family unleashed their own response, and theirs felt like a sharp clapback wrapped in dignity and fire. They denied certain rumors directly, hinted at misleading narratives, and emphasized loyalty to their own side. The tone was clean but spicy, controlled but cutting, the kind of message that starts politely but leaves a sting. Fans immediately grabbed popcorn. Screenshots flew everywhere. Reaction channels uploaded emergency videos faster than people could watch them. The feud felt official now, stamped, certified, and delivered to the doorstep of social media chaos. But the explosion hit full throttle when Ronnie Doe's family responded, and their message was nothing short of detonating a digital bomb. They didn't hold back. They didn't sugarcoat. They didn't tiptoe. Their statement called out false stories, selective editing, and outside voices adding fuel for entertainment. The tone was firm, direct, and dripping with "we're done being quiet." Fans screamed. Comment sections erupted. Memes formed instantly. The internet spun like a carnival ride with broken brakes. Suddenly everyone had an opinion. Influencers inserted themselves. Celebrities reacted with vague tweets that everyone insisted were about the drama. Even people who barely knew the situation logged in just to pick a side. Group chats lit up with theories, screenshots, and emotional voice notes. Every platform became a battleground where fans defended their favorites like gladiators. And yet, buried underneath all the noise, all the chaos, all the dramatic reactions, you could feel something deeper simmering, because none of the statements matched. Not fully, not smoothly, not even close. Each family told a story that contradicted the others just enough to spark suspicion, but aligned enough to hint at a bigger, hidden truth. Something wasn't being said. Something wasn't being addressed. Something was missing, and everyone could feel it. And just when the world thought this family triad chaos had reached its peak, a new voice stepped into the spotlight, a voice that wasn't supposed to speak, A voice nobody expected. A voice that sent the storyline into a whole new direction. The moment that unexpected voice entered the conversation, the entire internet detonated like someone unplugged the universe and plugged it back in sideways. It wasn't a family member, wasn't a friend, and definitely wasn't someone fans expected to hear from. It was a figure loosely connected to multiple sides, the kind of person who had enough insight to stir the pot, but not enough proximity to fully explain anything. Their message wasn't long, but it was sharp. Half the story hasn't been told. Some people not as innocent as they appear. That single line sent timelines into chaos more dramatic than a Zeus reunion brawl. Almost instantly, celebrity reactions started rolling in. A few posted cryptic tweets, the type celebrities love dropping during scandals. Energy never lies, truth always comes out, and protect your peace. Fans immediately assigned each tweet to a family, a storyline, or a previously unseen piece of the drama puzzle. Meanwhile, a reality TV star jumped into the mix by posting a TikTok lip-syncing to a shady audio clip, sparking rumors she knew more than she was letting on. Within minutes, the comments section exploded with accusations, emojis, and essays longer than legal documents. Then came the influencers, the chaotic narrators of internet drama, posting hour-long breakdowns with thumbnail faces frozen in dramatic gasps. They analyzed tone, body language, punctuation, and background patterns from every statement. One influencer even created a color-coded chart comparing the family's responses, claiming the discrepancies proved someone was lying. Was any of it factual? Absolutely not. Did fans devour it like truth? Of course. This is the internet. Logic is optional. But the memes were ruthless. The internet turned the three-family feud into a full-blown cinematic universe. People compared it to the Kardashians fighting at Christmas, the Avengers forming rival squads, and WWE Tag Team Chaos. One meme showed Chrisean, Neveah, and Ronnie Doe as anime characters powering up with lightning. Another depicted all three families sitting in a Zeus-style reunion circle throwing shade across the room. The meme factory was working overtime, and fans were eating it up. However, what made the drama escalate even faster was the contradictions that kept popping up like jump scares. One side said a particular rumor never happened, another said it absolutely happened but not like that. The third said it wasn't their business but they weren't denying it either. Fans were spinning so hard they practically created their own tornado. People were building timelines, making charts, stitching videos, and arguing over who was lying, who was covering for who, and who was about to break and spill everything. As confusion grew, fan outrage intensified. Some supporters accused the families of using emotional manipulation. Others insisted the families were victims of public misunderstanding. A few blamed the internet for blowing things out of proportion. Group chats were in shambles. Voice notes were being sent like emergency broadcasts. And across all platforms, one question screamed louder than the rest. What is the real story? Just when the drama became almost too messy to follow, a major celebrity jumped in, someone with influence, visibility, and a history of inserting themselves into chaos. They posted a vague message. I've seen what happens behind closed doors. Y'all stay safe. That post broke the internet for the fourth time in 24 hours. Screenshots were flying faster than apologies after a bad tweet. People speculated whether the celebrity was subtly choosing a side or dropping a warning. Nobody had answers, which only made the reactions more unhinged. Then the live streams began. Random acquaintances, ex-friends, former neighbors, old classmates, everyone with even 2% proximity to the situation went live to tell their truth. One person cried dramatically while saying nothing concrete. Another claimed they knew everything but refused to share details due to respect. A third person spoke in riddles like a reality show villain, dropping half sentences meant to spark confusion. Fans flocked to each stream, hoping for clarity, only to leave with their brains spinning harder than before. But the biggest escalation came when someone leaked a private DM conversation allegedly involving comments about the situation. Whether real or faked didn't matter, the internet accepted it as gospel. The messages hinted at unresolved tension between two of the families and suggested the third family had been dragged into drama that wasn't theirs. Suddenly narratives shifted again. People began pointing fingers at completely different sides, and new theories emerged like weeds in a garden of chaos. Through all of this, edits and fan compilations exploded across TikTok. Some painted Chrisean as the hero, others painted Neveah as the misunderstood one, and some turned Ronnie Doe into the calm center of chaos. But the most viral edit showed all three storylines colliding dramatically like a trailer for a reality TV special. Fans begged for a sit-down discussion between the families, a televised reunion, or at least a shared statement. The desperation was real. The escalation reached its peak when a fourth unexpected voice, someone extremely close to the inner circle, posted a message that threw gasoline on the drama fire. They wrote, "If everyone keeps lying, I'll release receipts." That single line shattered the internet like glass. People lost their minds. Fans started choosing sides again. Celebrities wiped their stories clean. Even the meme pages paused, because suddenly, the drama wasn't just chaotic, it was dangerous. Receipts meant evidence. Evidence meant exposure. Exposure meant someone's reputation was about to crumble, and just when the internet thought the storm couldn't get any worse, a fifth person, someone who had no reason to ever speak on this, stepped in with a message that flipped everything upside down. The moment the fifth unexpected voice entered the situation, the internet didn't just react, it malfunctioned. Timelines froze. Comment sections glitched. People refreshed their screens like their lives depended on it. Because this wasn't just anyone speaking up. It was someone with enough credibility, proximity, and history to shake the foundation of every narrative the families had built. Their message was simple but devastating. "Y'all focused on the wrong problem. The real issue wasn't even mentioned yet." That line hit harder than any clapback, any leaked DM, any shady tweet. It sent fans spiraling into panic, confusion, and desperate curiosity. The emotional fallout began immediately. Supporters of each family clung to their interpretations while critics weaponized the ambiguity. Some fans insisted the new voice was defending their favorite. Others said the message exposed hidden guilt. Meanwhile, neutral viewers turned into philosophers overnight, writing long threads about accountability, communication, and how the internet twists every story into a battleground. It was exhausting, yet addictive, the kind of drama that keeps people awake at doom, scrolling for clarity that never arrives. But the ones feeling the most impact were the families themselves. Suddenly, each statement was scrutinized under a microscope made of public pressure and emotional bias. Chrisean's family received waves of support mixed with accusations. Neveah's family found themselves praised for their calm tone but questioned about contradictions. Ronnie Doe's family became the center of suspicion after rumors claimed their response contained too much defensiveness, and as the narratives collided, people realized something deeper. Each family was fighting a different battle, protecting different truths, and reacting to different interpretations of the same tangled situation. That's when the emotional fallout got real. Live streams turned tearful. One family member expressed frustration at being misunderstood. Another revealed how the public's assumptions had caused private tension. A third hinted that the online negativity affected their mental health way more than the drama itself. It humanized the situation in a way fans didn't expect. Behind the explosive posts and viral reactions were actual people with actual feelings navigating a mess bigger than their control. But the internet rarely slows down for empathy, it only pauses long enough to make the next reaction louder. The aftermath intensified when a leaked voicemail allegedly surfaced from someone close to the inner circle. The audio was muffled, unclear, but filled with enough emotional weight to make fans gasp. It mentioned pressure, betrayal, and miscommunication, themes all three families had hinted at individually. The voicemail suggested the root issue wasn't personal attacks or public drama, but a chain of misunderstandings blown out of proportion by people outside the situation. If true, that meant the feud wasn't born from malice, but from chaos. And chaos, as the internet proved, spreads faster than truth ever will. Still, the confusion didn't settle. Instead, it morphed into a new tension. Fans demanded accountability. Critics demanded transparency. Neutral viewers demanded the full story. But none of the families responded immediately, likely processing the unexpected turn the drama had taken. That silence created a vacuum, and vacuums on the internet get filled with speculation, theories, and unhinged predictions. People built entire plots out of assumptions, turning the drama into a fictional saga with real protagonists who had no script to follow. As the pressure grew, the three families unexpectedly found themselves aligned in a strange way. Not intentionally, not publicly, but emotionally, because all three had become targets of a narrative they didn't fully control. The backlash grew heavier. Their inboxes filled. Their names trended. People analyzed their every word. Some fans defended them fiercely. Others attacked them relentlessly. And somewhere in the middle of all the noise, each family had to decide whether to fight back, stay silent, or attempt a new approach entirely. Then came the shift nobody predicted. A close friend of one family posted a message urging unity, saying, "This got too big, too loud, too twisted. They need to talk privately before anyone talks publicly again." That message resonated deeply, creating a temporary ceasefire among fans. For the first time since the feud began, people entertained the possibility that the drama wasn't black and white. That perhaps every side had valid emotions, valid frustrations, and valid misunderstandings. It didn't calm the chaos, but it softened the edges long enough for the conversation to breathe. But the internet isn't built for peace. Hours later, the fourth voice, the one who threatened to drop receipts, returned with another message. "Y'all want the truth? Then stop guessing. It's coming." That single line ignited a fresh storm. People flooded timelines with anticipation and dread. Whose receipts? What truth? Who would be exposed? Every fanbase panicked at the possibility that their favorite would be dragged. The anxiety spread faster than the drama itself, creating a countdown atmosphere as if a bomb were ticking somewhere online. Finally, at the height of tension, a notification popped up on all platforms, a post from someone everyone forgot to consider. Someone quietly observing. Someone deeply connected but emotionally distanced from all three families. Their message was short, calm, and far more chilling than any threat or clapback. "The truth isn't what you think, and it won't come from any of us." The internet froze. Who were they referring to? Who was left to speak? Who held the real story? And then came the